Why silence is powerful. Have you ever noticed how much energy we waste trying to explain ourselves to people who don't really care? Think about it. How many times have you defended your choices, justified your dreams, or waited for someone else to give you permission to go after what you want? Let me tell you, every moment you spend trying to prove yourself to others is a moment you're taking away from your own progress. It's time to stop. The moment you start focusing on yourself, everything in your life starts to change. Why? Because success doesn't come from talking about what you're going to do. It doesn't come from convincing other people that you're capable. It comes from taking action. It comes from being disciplined. It comes from showing up for yourself every single day, even when no one is watching. Most people don't get what they want in life because they get too distracted. They let the noise of the world get in the way of their own progress. They spend hours looking at social media, comparing their journey to someone else's highlights. They worry about what their friends or family will think if they choose a different path. They waste their energy arguing with people who don't even care about them. And in the end, they feel tired, frustrated, and stuck. But let me tell you something. When you get rid of distractions, when you stop explaining yourself, and when you focus only on what really matters, that's when you become unstoppable. Because the truth is, success is built in quiet moments. It's built in the early mornings when everyone else is asleep. It's built in the moments when you choose to work instead of looking for approval. It's built in the times when you keep going, even when no one is cheering you on. You don't need an audience. You don't need approval. What you need is to be consistent. The more you focus on yourself, on your growth, your discipline, your learning, the more everything around you starts to line up. You start attracting better opportunities. You start making smarter decisions. You start feeling more confident, not because someone else told you you're good enough, but because you proved it to yourself through your actions. And let me be clear, this isn't about isolating yourself or ignoring the world. It's about protecting your energy. It's about being careful about where you spend your time and attention. It's about understanding that not every conversation needs your response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. And not every person deserves access to your thoughts. When you learn to control your focus, you gain control over your life. Why focusing on yourself matters. The best part is this: when you work quietly, when you stop announcing every little thing you do, your success becomes obvious. People will start to notice. They'll wonder how you did it. They'll see the results, and you won't have to say a word. Your actions will speak louder than anything you could have ever said. So here's the challenge. Stop talking about what you're going to do. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop waiting for permission. Just do the work. Focus on yourself. Show up every day. And trust that when you do, everything will fall into place. You've got this. Now go make it happen. What you focus on grows. If you focus on growth, discipline, and learning, your life will change. It's that simple. Your energy is one of the most powerful things you have, and most people don't even realize how much control they have over their own reality. Every single thought, action, and choice shapes your future. But here's the problem. Most people are using their energy in all the wrong ways. They focus on what's missing instead of what's possible. They focus on distractions instead of discipline. They focus on other people's opinions instead of their own progress. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. The truth is, your life is a reflection of what you pay attention to. If you constantly feed yourself negativity, if you surround yourself with the wrong people, if you waste time on things that don't help you, your reality will show that. But if you shift your energy towards improving yourself, towards learning, towards becoming the best version of yourself, your world will start to change. And this isn't just some motivational idea. It's backed by science. Your brain is wired to find more of whatever you focus on. It's called the reticular activating system, and it acts like a filter, bringing into your awareness the things that match your main thoughts. Ever notice how when you decide to buy a new car, you suddenly see that same model everywhere? That's your brain at work. Now imagine if you trained your mind to focus on opportunities instead of problems. Imagine if you taught yourself to see solutions instead of difficulties. You'd start attracting more of what you actually want instead of settling for whatever life throws your way. The problem is, most people don't take responsibility for where their energy goes. They let their environment control them instead of taking control of their environment. They wake up and immediately check their phones, letting the news, social media, and other people's lives decide their mood for the day. They get caught up in drama, negativity, and pointless distractions, and then they wonder why they feel drained. But here's the truth. Your energy is your responsibility. No one else is going to protect it for you. If you want to change your life, you have to be intentional about what you allow into your mind and your space. That means setting boundaries. It means saying no to things that don't help you reach your goals. It means surrounding yourself with people who push you forward instead of holding you back. It means replacing complaints with action, excuses with discipline, and distractions with focus. When you do that, when you commit to feeding your mind with the right thoughts and your life with the right habits, you start to see results. And once you start seeing results, everything shifts. You'll notice that the things that used to bother you don't affect you anymore. The negativity that used to drain you doesn't even register in your mind. The people who doubted you become irrelevant, not because anything around you changed, but because you changed. You trained yourself to focus on what actually matters. And when you do that, when you put all your energy into becoming better, smarter, stronger, your reality starts to reflect that. This is why success isn't about luck. It's about alignment. It's about making sure your actions, your mindset, and your energy are all in sync with the life you want to create. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to know every step. But you do need to be intentional about where you put your focus, because at the end of the day, you are either building your future or feeding your fears. So the question is, what are you choosing to focus on? Because that choice is shaping your life, whether you realize it or not. Why talking less leads to greater results? Distractions ruin progress. It's one of the biggest reasons why people stay stuck in the same place for years. Not because they lack talent or ability, but because they're too busy paying attention to things that don't matter. Every time you let yourself get distracted by negativity, by other people's opinions, by unnecessary drama, you're stealing time and energy from the goals that are actually important to you. And the worst part is, most people don't even realize they're doing it. Think about it. How much time do you spend scrolling through social media, watching other people live their lives instead of building your own? How often do you let someone else's negativity ruin your mood and throw you off track? How many times have you told yourself you'd start something important only to get sidetracked by something meaningless? That's what distractions do. They pull you away from your purpose. And the more you allow them into your life, the harder it becomes to focus on what truly matters. And let's be real, distractions aren't always obvious. Sometimes they disguise themselves as things that seem urgent, but aren't actually important. A pointless argument, an unnecessary meeting, a social event you didn't really want to go to. These things might seem small, but when they add up, they become the reason why you're not making progress. Because every moment you spend on something that doesn't align with your goals is a moment you could have spent moving forward. This is why the most successful people in the world are very strict with their time. They don't let distractions control their day. They don't waste energy on things that don't help them. They protect their focus because they understand that without it, nothing great gets done. You have to start thinking the same way. If you want to achieve something big in life, you can't afford to let distractions control you. You have to take control of your environment, your time, and your attention. One of the biggest distractions people deal with is other people's opinions. It's crazy how much energy we waste worrying about what others think. We hesitate to make bold moves because we're afraid of judgment. We hold back from pursuing our goals because we don't want to be criticized. But here's the truth. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. So why not do what makes you happy? Why not focus on building the life you actually want instead of living in fear of what others might say? The moment you stop caring about opinions that don't matter, you free yourself to focus on what does. And when you focus, things start to shift. You get more done. You start seeing real progress. You become more confident, not because someone else validated you, but because you prove to yourself that you're capable. That's the power of eliminating distractions. It creates space for you to become the person you were meant to be. How to ignore negativity. But here's the catch. This isn't something that happens by accident. You have to be intentional about it. That means setting boundaries. It means saying no more often. It means creating a daily routine that prioritizes your goals over everything else. It means removing anything from your life that slows you down, whether that's toxic relationships, bad habits, or time-wasting activities. Because at the end of the day, success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. And working smart means protecting your focus at all costs. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're frustrated because you're not where you want to be, ask yourself this: where is your energy going? Are you pouring it into things that help you grow? Or are you wasting it on distractions that keep you stagnant? Because the moment you decide to take your focus seriously, everything changes. You start moving faster. You start seeing results. You start realizing just how much you're capable of when you stop letting distractions control your life. And the best part is, once you master this, it becomes a habit. Focus becomes your default mode. Progress becomes your new normal. And the things that used to throw you off stop affecting you because you've trained yourself to stay locked in on what actually matters. So don't let distractions steal your future. Protect your time, protect your energy, and watch how fast your life transforms. The problem is, most people give up too soon. They get frustrated when they don't see instant progress. They convince themselves that their efforts aren't making a difference. But the truth is, everything you do adds up. If you're constantly learning, growing, and improving, even in small ways, you're setting yourself up for success. The people who achieve their dreams aren't the ones who made one big move. They're the ones who kept going when no one else did. How small habits create success. Success isn't about one big moment. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every single day. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that one massive change will fix everything, that one breakthrough, one lucky break, or one perfect opportunity will suddenly transform your life. But that's not how it works. The real secret to success is the compound effect of self-improvement. The small things you do in quiet moments, the daily habits that seem insignificant, are the things that will lead to massive life changes over time. Think about it. Every choice you make is either pushing you forward or holding you back. Waking up early to work on your goals, that's progress. Reading instead of scrolling through social media, that's progress. Choosing discipline over excuses, that's progress. And while these actions might seem small in the moment, when you repeat them day after day, they start adding up. Most people never see success because they underestimate the power of consistency. They start something new, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They work hard for a week, but when nothing changes, they go back to old habits. What they don't realize is that real success is built through repetition. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is watching. Because the truth is, the results don't show up right away, but that doesn't mean they aren't coming. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, and give it time. At first, it looks like nothing is happening, but underneath the surface, the roots are growing, strengthening, preparing for the moment when they'll break through the ground. That's exactly how success works. Every time you take a small step towards your goal, you're strengthening your foundation. You might not see the results immediately, but if you stay consistent, they will come. The power of discipline and consistency. And here's what's even more powerful. Once you start seeing results, momentum kicks in. When you build one good habit, it leads to another. When you start making progress, it motivates you to keep going. Success breeds success, but it all starts with those small daily choices. This is why it's so important to be intentional with your habits. The things you do every day matter more than you think. If you want to be healthier, it's not about one intense workout. It's about moving your body every day. If you want to be more successful, it's not about one big career move. It's about continuously learning and improving your skills. If you want to be more confident, it's not about waiting for external validation. It's about proving to yourself through consistent action that you're capable. The best part is, you don't have to wait to start. You don't need perfect conditions, and you don't need anyone's permission. You just need to commit to doing something, no matter how small, every day that moves you closer to your goal. And if you stay consistent, if you trust the process and keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening, you'll wake up one day and realize that everything has changed. That's the power of the compound effect of self-improvement. It's not about making one big move. It's about making small, smart choices every single day. Because when you do that, success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Why you must let go of toxic people. Confidence doesn't come from seeking approval. It doesn't come from likes, comments, or compliments. It doesn't come from waiting for someone else to tell you that you're good enough. Confidence comes from action, from proving to yourself through your own effort that you are capable. The more you take action for yourself, the less validation you need from others. Most people think confidence is something you're either born with or without, but that's not true. Confidence is something you build. It's a skill, just like anything else. Just like any skill, the only way to develop it is through practice. You don't become confident by thinking about doing something. You become confident by doing it, by putting yourself out there, by facing challenges head on, even when you're scared. Here's the truth. If you constantly wait for approval before making a move, you'll never do anything worthwhile. Because the reality is, not everyone is going to support you. Not everyone is going to understand your journey. And if you let that stop you, you'll stay stuck. You'll hold back. You'll shrink yourself to fit into a version of life that feels safe but isn't fulfilling. Think about the most confident people you know. What do they have in common? It's not that they're fearless. It's not that they always know exactly what they're doing. It's that they trust themselves enough to take action, even when they're uncertain. They don't waste time waiting for permission. They don't sit around wondering what people will think. They just go for it. And because they take action, they build proof that they can handle challenges, proof that they can figure things out, proof that they are capable. That's the secret. Confidence isn't about feeling ready. It's about taking action before you feel ready. Most people wait until they feel 100% prepared. But the problem is, that moment never comes. There will always be doubts. There will always be unknowns. But if you let that hold you back, you'll never get started. The only way to become more confident is to start before you feel ready and trust that you'll figure it out. And here's the kicker. Once you start taking action, your need for external validation starts to fade. When you prove to yourself that you're capable, you stop needing other people to tell you. You stop seeking approval because you've already given it to yourself. That's when real confidence is built, because it's not based on what others think. It's based on what you know to be true about yourself. This is why people who take risks, who step outside their comfort zones, who challenge themselves regularly, always seem more confident. It's not because they never experienced doubt. It's because they've built up so much evidence of their own ability that doubt no longer has power over them. They've seen themselves succeed before, so they believe they can do it again. The best part is, you don't need to be the most talented, the smartest, or the most experienced person in the room. You just need to be the person who is willing to take action. Because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Every time you do something uncomfortable, if you like this video, so please drop your comment. Thank you for